Good evening, sci-fi movie nerds, and welcome to another episode of the Sci-Fi Movie Guy. As usual, when we talk about Star Wars, I have to have Jason here.
Hello.
And we've got a ton of news coming out this week about Star Wars. So we're going to get right into it. I had to get Jason on the show to talk about this stuff. We know for a fact, Rian Johnson tweeted today that The Last Jedi has wrapped. That movie is in the can. It is done post-production. It is done filming. It is done CGI. It is done everything, and the stamp of approval came from Lucasfilm today. Now, why is this such big news? Well, I'm going to tell you. We have had so many problems as of late with directors for the Han Solo film, with director being taken off Rogue One almost. Gareth Edwards was almost taken off, but he played ball, and they let Lucasfilm bring in another writer, another post-production guy. We had
Major
Josh...
reshoots.
Oh, yeah, major reshoots.
Yeah.
Josh Trank taking off the Boba Fett movie.
Yeah.
This is the only movie, and even Force Awakens, we heard the rumors that they were not happy with what JJ had done, and they brought in Lawrence Kasdan about 3/4 of the way to get him back on track, because, I mean, as good as I like The Force Awakens, they had issues there too. Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, unknown, couple movies, Looper, and he did a movie solidly.
It's very surprising. It's very surprising that we've got this thing wrapped. It's in the can, like they said.
3 months.
3 months to go. My only question now is why haven't we got a trailer yet?
Yeah.
We need a trailer. We've got the teaser. Yes.
And
we
a
got
little
the
behind the scenes thing.
I didn't really want to see behind the scenes. I don't want to see how the soup's made before I actually get to taste it.
We talked about that when Rogue One, the behind the scenes came out. It almost told us too much.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see the magic happening before I get to experience. I don't want that illusion ruined. So I really wanted a full trailer that last time the behind the scenes dropped. However, there are some rumors out there that a trailer is just around the corner.
So Mark Hamill tweeted that you should watch Monday Night Football on October 9th. No reason in particular. That tweet was only on Twitter for about an hour, and it got taken down. And then there was two different reports from good Star Wars sources saying that he got in a lot of trouble for tweeting that, because Lucasfilm likes to tell people when they like to tell people. What do you think? What do you honestly think about Luke Skywalker getting in trouble from Lucasfilm? Do you think he cared, or do you think he's so iconic that he's like, whatever, you guys, you're not going to take me out?
I don't think he got in big time trouble.
Okay.
If anything, at the most, they slapped him on the wrist or gave him a stern talking to or something. He's not getting in trouble. And the magnitude of that, we'll say, leak. It's not that big of a deal. Hey, guess what, guys? A trailer is coming. Okay, maybe the date might be a big deal, but I mean, with The Force Awakens, they did that on a Monday Night Football,
and it soared. Like,
huge.
It worked.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, it's good that they're, maybe bringing it back to Monday Night Football. Maybe do the season opener of Monday Night Football or something like that. Like, we need this thing already. But the film's less than 3 months away.
Here's my problem with Lucasfilm right now in The Last Jedi. I don't really know what this story is about. All I know is Luke says the Jedi must end.
And that could be part of a sentence. There could be more to that.
It could be anything. It could be that the Jedi Order, you've speculated on this so many times, that the Jedi had it completely wrong.
Right.
So that's all it could be, is he's read all the wills and he figures, you know what, they had it wrong. We need to train in the Force, but we need to play in the middle. Who knows what it means? It really doesn't.
Let's continue, but without the Jedi moniker.
Yeah. But it doesn't tell us what the story is about.
No, not at all.
And we see Rey fighting with a lightsaber and training. So we know Luke's training her in the Force.
Which is pretty much a given at the end of The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Right.
But we don't know. What is this story? What is Snoke's involvement? What is Kylo's involvement?
Not a clue.
What is Finn? What is Poe? We know nothing. That's not cool 3 months before a movie.
Yeah. I don't want to know a ton about the thing, but give us some little teasers. Like, oh, what's happening over there with Snoke? Like, there's no real kind of drama in the trailer other than the Jedi must end.
Yeah.
Just the one line. I mean, we see explosions and all that kind of stuff we expect from a Star Wars movie, but we need to know at least, like, okay, who's the main antagonist going to be?
Well, and from what
Is it
I'm
going to be
hearing,
Kylo, or is it going to be Snoke? Are we going to get deeper into Snoke?
or is it going to be Benicio del Toro's character? Does Snoke even make it out of this movie? Because to me, Snoke's been a big disappointment up until now. He was a hologram. I mean,
Well, if you put him on the level with the Emperor, we don't see the Emperor at all in Star Wars. The brief mention of him.
monkey face in Empire.
We see the monkey face lady, which was actually a lady. We see the hologram in Empire, and then we get the Emperor in Jedi. So, I mean, having Snoke do what he did, I'm fine with that as long as they continue to build. Is Benicio del Toro, DJ, I think his character's name is.
Yeah.
He just seems kind of more like underworld scum kind of character to me.
Or is he?
Or I don't know.
Do you bring a guy like Benicio?
I could use a trailer to clear things up.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll, again, now quickly back into Last Jedi. Before we get off this topic, the new Leia movie or book came out. So the young Leia. It just came out a couple weeks ago, and I had a chance to read it.
Okay.
I don't know if you have.
I haven't.
But they allude to Laura Dern's character in this book. And so I'm going to throw this quickly, the synopsis at you that kind of will explain Laura Dern's character in The Last Jedi. So what happens is Laura Dern and Princess Leia were in the academy together in Princess School. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but they were together on Alderaan, and they were friends.
Okay.
So everybody had been speculating that Laura Dern's character was actually going to be opposing Leia for leadership after the New Republic had been destroyed and the Resistance was going to take leadership. I don't think that's the case after what I read in the book. I think they're going to be allies and they're going to bring the Resistance together. Or big another thing, maybe she's an undercover operative now for the First Order. And they send her out because we know you're friends with Leia, and maybe that's the big end to Leia's character, and it's a big betrayal. Who knows? But we know a little bit more about Laura Dern's character. So when I watch the movie now, I'm going to know when Laura Dern comes into the screen, her and Leia have a past.
Okay. And they were friends.
They were
close?
friends. They were very close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I highly recommend you read this book. It's by Claudia Gray, same person who did Lost Stars and Bloodlines, and those are my two favorite books in the Star Wars new canon books.
Okay. I haven't read the new Leia book. I did read Phasma.
And I didn't get a chance. Did they give us more? Is she going to be...
We get a background. We get a full kind of background story for Phasma, where she came from and what brought her to the First Order. The book was all right.
Is she? So it's not like top 10 books. It's okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe if you're really into Phasma, you would really get something out of this. I like the look of Phasma. Obviously, the character in Force Awakens did nothing for me at all. Again, looks cool. And then with the book, it's just like, okay, sure, it makes sense, but it doesn't really give you anything.
So what will Phasma's role be in The Last Jedi? Will it be bigger? Will she be more kick-ass? Or is she just going to be the Boba Fett of these three series where she looks cool but she doesn't do much?
Well, they are saying that she's going to have an expanded role, and I can see, with what they give us in the book. Okay, so if you're following Phasma as a character and you've read the book going into The Last Jedi, I can see expecting a little bit more.
Okay.
And certainly with the Entertainment Weekly pictures, we did see Phasma with the helmet off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a potential that we might see. So we might get deeper into the character of.
When you get Gwendolyn Christie in a movie and you don't take off the helmet, you're wasting money.
Although having said that, in the book, they do reference that she doesn't take off her helmet.
Okay.
In the book, it's kind of like a thing. She doesn't take off her helmet at all. So I don't know how they're going to play that.
So I think that's really all the Last Jedi news we know.
Yeah.
Watch
October 9th.
Watch October 9th and let's see what we have to say about that.
No reason in particular, but watch Monday Night Football October 9th.
So now we're going to get into the story Collider Jedi Council broke, and they broke it from the Hollywood Reporter. This was about a week ago that there is going to be an Obi-Wan movie. It is confirmed. There's nothing else about Ewan McGregor. They have not made an announcement he's coming back. If it's, I think it's a given that Ewan McGregor is coming back. He has made it very clear.
You use the word confirmed, and I just want to clarify that it hasn't been confirmed from Lucasfilm.
No.
Hollywood Reporter did report it.
Yeah.
They are reputable, so I believe it.
And
but we haven't heard anything from
They
Lucasfilm
always
yet.
use two very highly credible sources
Right.
before they report anything.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Hollywood Reporter. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Go on.
But no confirmation Ewan McGregor is on the film, but we heard another rumor. I did. You didn't. I heard it from two different sources that Ewan McGregor was seen going into, I think it's called Pinewood Studios in London, to do readings. Okay. So it's like they must be doing casting already for this movie, and they've got Ewan McGregor in there doing readings. So to me, that says Ewan McGregor's confirmed. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Maybe he was going in there to have coffee with somebody that he knows. But
now with Pinewood Studios, I know that like a lot of the Star Wars stuff is shot there. But it's a film studio. So, I mean, if they're in early pre-production of an Obi-Wan film, it still doesn't quite make sense to me why he would be there. I mean, if they're casting, if they're doing readings, I don't think any of that's actually going to happen at the studio that they're using valuable space that could be, shooting a film at that time.
And the other thing about this is they're claiming there's no script yet. And I do not believe that. I think
if we're this far into production, if things are starting to leak out to the media, there's a script. I mean, we're not going to be talking about an Obi-Wan film with a potential director involved, a potential star involved, and not have a script in place.
Let's. You said you had some notes on the director. Who are they reporting they're in talks with right now?
Let me just bring this up here real quick. Okay, so they were saying that the guy's name is, forgive me, internet, Stephen Daldry.
Okay, now I don't know this guy.
I didn't recognize the name at all. If you do look up his IMDb page, which is where I'm at right now, he's by no means a newcomer. He's got a huge list of films to his credit, so obviously he knows what he's doing. He's got a ton of huge stars that he's worked with. So
Nicole Kidman,
Julianne Moore, Kate Winslet, Tom Hanks. Huge list.
But a lot of Oscar movies, you were saying.
It seems going through his films, everything on the list is kind of Oscar fodder, heavy drama. So it's interesting to, I guess, wonder how is that going to relate to a Star Wars film?
Because we all know Star Wars films are giant action films.
Exactly.
He's used to doing Oscar, smaller movies, big stars. The only big star that will be in this movie is Ewan McGregor, and it's questionable other than Star Wars. Is he considered a big star? Has he done a lot outside of the Star Wars world?
I don't know that he has a lot of... I mean, he's done a lot of movies, and he's done some good movies. I enjoy him as an actor. Does he carry the weight of a huge A-list... Tom Hanks or a Tom Cruise or something like that? Is he going to draw people all on his own? No. Him as Obi-Wan? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
But my question is I don't know if this is the guy that I want doing the Obi-Wan movie. The Obi-Wan movie I told you a couple of years ago is my movie that I've always wanted because he was the one thing out of the prequels that I think resonated through all three of them as the best thing about the prequels.
Okay.
And so I'm worried. Just like I'm worried they've got all these director problems and then they throw this guy in the mix. Why don't Obi-Wan, man? Bring in a big seasoned director to do this movie. Don't bring in some guy that's untested in a giant action film. Right.
Now, I don't have a clear opinion on this, so I'm going to give you two opposing opinions. Mm-hmm. It doesn't quite make sense that they would do that. I mean, they brought in the comedic directors, Lord and Miller, to do the Han Solo film. They're like, yeah, let's mix it up and let's do an intrigue kind of spy movie in Rogue One. Let's do a comedy movie in Han Solo. And then they get the dailies back and they're like, oh, no, this isn't what we wanted at all.
Yeah, this is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yeah, so they canned those guys and brought on Ron Howard. He's going to do a fantastic job, I believe.
Yep.
So let's bring in this serious drama guy. Let's give weight to this Obi-Wan movie. Let's make it deep and heavy. You know, he's the Force user that a lot of people connect with. So let's give a lot of weight and a lot of meaning behind that. Okay, that sounds kind of cool, But
If
in a
this-
Star Wars film, is it going to play? Is it going to work?
The only way this will work is if the entire movie is set on Tatooine. It's a Tom Hanks Castaway movie where it's Obi-Wan by himself the whole time. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe if it's all about him and his struggles, and there's flashbacks to the prequels, and there's flashbacks to what he's going through, and he's going insane on this planet, and maybe sand people attack him and he goes nuts with his lightsaber, and once in a while he goes and checks on Luke. Maybe.
Now, see, you saying that and you giving that as your plot synopsis for the movie, I want to see that movie.
Don't.
It sounds really cool, but here's that flip-flop. That sounds really cool. Disney's not going to do that.
No way.
Disney's
That doesn't sell toys.
Disney's got a $2 billion movie in the can with Force Awakens. They've got a $1.3 whatever billion movie with Rogue One. Last Jedi comes the next. It's gonna
1.6, 1.7,
yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
guessing.
it's gonna hit in that range. Not quite what Force Awakens did, but it's still gonna be a big movie.
Han Solo might just beat Rogue One by a little bit.
I think so, just because we have a little identity.
Yeah,
right?
we got Lando Calrissian, we got Han Solo, we got Chewbacca.
Exactly. So Disney's making bank. I don't think that they're going to take that big of a risk
And
to
go
do
with a
a
Castaway.
straight drama,
Yeah.
weird things happening, kind of somber, not a ton of action. It's not going to happen.
So, something that we're going to talk about a little later, but who's the big bad villain in the Obi-Wan movie? Okay, I think you can't have an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie without Darth Vader. I'm not saying they're ever going to meet up, because we know through canon that he really doesn't see Vader after he kills or almost kills Anakin in the last Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
He doesn't see him again until they meet on the Death Star later on.
Right.
So, but there's nothing saying that Vader isn't hunting down Jedi, and he puts 3 Jedi in a room because he knows Obi-Wan's still alive somewhere, and starts torturing them so that Obi-Wan has to leave Tatooine, come and break these Jedi out, and maybe they never actually see each other, but as Obi-Wan's escaping, Vader's there, just like you see in Rogue One.
Constantly missing each other.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen.
So who's the big baddie? You got to have a protagonist or
an
an antagonist.
If he's on Tatooine, his villains are the scum and villainy that are in Mos Eisley.
Okay.
The Sand People, which none of those are really obviously as powerful as Obi-Wan.
So maybe Cad Bane recognizes Obi-Wan in Mos Eisley, and that's it. And he's hunting him down through Tatooine. Maybe then he calls Boba Fett, Jabba the Hutt, and says, "We need some more backup here." And maybe...
that would be a very cool close to the Cad Bane storyline.
Yeah.
Because Cad Bane and Obi-Wan had a history in the Clone Wars. Cad Bane's a fantastic character. He was one of my favorite in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So to bring him back, that's definitely would appease the fans. A huge portion of the crowd or the audience isn't going to know who Cad Bane is.
But they don't need to.
They don't need to because they can be introduced to him at that time.
Exactly.
And so it's going to mean a little bit for them, and it's going to mean a lot more for the Star Wars fans. I could see that, and that would be very cool. I could get behind that, having Cad Bane as the main antagonist.
All right, well, you know what? It doesn't matter what we think. We want to know what you guys think. Please let us know in the comments section. What is this Obi-Wan movie going to be about? Who's going to be the protagonist? And what do you think of this director choice? And again, it's just reported they're in talks with him,
Right.
if that's the guy. So now let's move on to another Hollywood Reporter story, Jason. I think you had a little bit of fun this week on social media with the Hollywood Reporter.
My 15 minutes of fame have come and gone, but it was fun while it lasted. So about 2 years ago, on my Instagram feed, I made a meme.
What's your Instagram?
Vintage Star Wars.
At Vintage Star Wars.
Vintage Star Wars. Go follow me there. So about 2 years ago, I made a meme, and I was actually, just for S's and G's, I was measuring my vintage Star Wars figures with a micrometer, and I noticed that the Luke Skywalker figure is actually longer than the Stormtrooper figure. So,
and we know he's shorter than a Stormtrooper in Empire Strikes Back.
That's what Leia says.
Yeah.
So I made a meme and said, apparently he's not. Really, really subtle meme. And made it a couple years ago, and a couple people liked it. And and since then, I've seen it pop up maybe once or twice. But last week, who retweets it but Mark Hamill. And he retweets it with
At Hamill himself is
at
his.
Hamill himself on Instagram and on Twitter. He tweets it and posts it and saying, "See, this is definitive proof. I'm not shorter than a stormtrooper," and just in his humorous ways. And who knows where he found it? So he didn't give credit to anyone, and that's fine. I don't care. But after he had tweeted it a couple of times or did his thing, then the internet got a hold of it and people started reporting on it. And it was actually a Hollywood Reporter
that traced it back to you.
Well, they didn't trace it back initially. They wrote the article, haha, look what Mark Hamill tweeted, fun and games, haha, it's all a good time. And then I posted their article saying, hey, look, they're writing an article. Too bad nobody knows it's me. A friend of mine, Tammy, who owns Smiley Eyes Photography, plug, she actually contacted them and said, hey, my friend Jason, he made that meme. If you go back on his Instagram account, you'll see it. And so sure enough, they actually did that. Someone at Hollywood Reporter went back on my feed, screen capped the original post, and gave me full credit for it. So kudos to Hollywood Reporter for covering their bases, getting a couple of sources.
And the best thing about this is that Hollywood Reporter has always been probably since the prequels, the best source of news for Star Wars, the most reputable, and they give Star Wars fans credit where credit is due.
And they did. And yeah, so they went back and they edited the article. They gave me the credit, and yay, 15 minutes is up now.
Jason, Trench Run Rebels, at Vintage Star Wars.
Vintage Star Wars.
You guys got to go check him out. He does some amazing memes, some amazing posts. I mean, he is great.
At least one amazing.
No, you've done some good stuff. I loved your, what was it, Kit?
Oh, sure, Kitster for no reason, yeah.
Yeah. No, the one where he's Snoke.
Oh, he's Snoke. Yeah, my Snoke theory is Kitster's Snoke.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to some other movie rumors. We had the coming out, they're thinking about a Yoda movie and a Jabba the Hutt movie. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to save Yoda for last because I know what you're going to say about Yoda already.
Okay.
Jabba the Hutt movie. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't even care if it's... The only way I'm going to care about this movie is if it's a Godfather movie, Underworld, all of the bounty hunters from the Clone Wars, and Jabba the Hutt's a minor character like the Godfather, sitting in the background every once in a while they talk to him, but it's got to be like Underworld, and I don't want it to be on Tatooine. I want it to be on Coruscant. I want to see the underworld of Coruscant. That's the only way I'm going to care about this movie. If it's about Jabba's palace and we get more of the music, like the redone Return of the Jedi, I am so not caring about this movie. What do you think?
Okay, so mark my words. There will not be a movie made with Jabba the Hutt in the title. It's not happening.
Okay.
Will it be bounty hunter movie with Jabba the Hutt being one of the characters? Sure, that'd be great. Will it be an underworld movie with Jabba the Hutt being one of the characters? Sure, that would be great. They're not going to make a movie with Jabba the Hutt as the central character. Not going to happen. It's absolutely not going to happen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Because Han Solo as the central character, it's Harrison Ford, right? He's a huge character, and sure they're recasting him, but the character transcends the actor, and it's going to carry over. Obi-Wan, definitely. People from multi-generations recognize and know and love Obi-Wan. Boba Fett, potentially.
With more supporting characters.
Potentially the name Boba Fett could ring true to a large audience.
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt? No. Will I go see it if it's Jabba the Hutt movie? Yes.
We're going to go see anything that has Star Wars on it.
Will my dad see it? No. Will my grandma see it? No. Did they see Force Awakens? Yes, they did.
And they're going to see The Last Jedi.
And they'll see The Last Jedi. Will they see Jabba the Hutt, a Star Wars story? No.
No.
And Disney wants to make bank on multi-generations, and they don't want to just appeal to us. They want to appeal to a broad audience. Jabba the Hutt's not going to do that.
All right.
Not happening.
So now we get into the rumor that happened on the Han Solo set.
Okay.
So this came out, again, the Hollywood Reporter.
Han Solo?
They said that there was reports of a 6'4" guy in sweatpants fighting with a lightsaber trainer.
Okay.
So
On a Han Solo set.
on the Han Solo set. Now, why do you have a 6'4" guy fighting with a lightsaber on the Han Solo set unless Vader's in the Han Solo movie?
Yeah, and I heard people making that assumption. Darth Vader is not going to be in a Han Solo movie. Darth Vader is not the antagonist for Han Solo. They're in two classes of.
Well, we know
battle
they've never
readiness.
met. He has never met Han Solo until the or Vader until the Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
But let's say, just for shits and giggles, Vader's in the Han Solo movie.
Okay.
Let's say it is a minor cameo, 2 minutes of the movie. He's out there walking with all these stormtroopers. Solo's getting away. They never actually meet, and he has to start slaying down some people. Let's just say this happens.
Okay.
I think it makes the world too small. I don't.
Yep.
I have a bucket list of 4 things that I need to see in a Han Solo movie, and Vader is definitely not one of them.
Vader is definitely not one of them. I agree to your point. It makes the world too small. If they do that, if Vader shows up for that small 2-minute cameo in a Han Solo movie, all that says to me is that, oh, look how well Vader did in Rogue One.
And
Let's
no
do
faith.
that again.
And they have no faith.
Yeah.
You got to bring
it's just-
Vader in.
it's
No
just
faith
trying
in
to,
your
like,
movie.
Han Solo's strong enough without having to bring in
And
Vader.
Vader's
more recognizable as an icon figure, but Han Solo is a strong enough name.
And let's talk about Taron Egerton for a minute, the guy playing Han Solo. I mean, he has done some amazing work in movies, even though his movies may not have been that great. But the first Kingsman was incredible.
I haven't seen any of his movies.
Okay, well, the first
And I'm not going to until Han Solo.
The first Kingsman was incredible. The second Kingsman, The Golden Circle, came out yesterday, and I went and saw it. Not as good. I'm not going to spoil anything, but not as good as the first one.
Okay.
But he's the best thing about this movie.
Okay.
Without a doubt, his acting is on par incredible. So
just from those movies, do you think he's got the charisma
he does.
to be Han Solo?
Without a doubt, he is going to do a great job. The fact that this young actor had the cojones to go to Kathleen Kennedy and say, I don't think Lord and Miller are capturing Han Solo, and I took this movie on the Lawrence Kasdan script because I wanted to be Han Solo. I didn't want to be a joke.
Right.
And I don't want my legacy to be a joke. The fact that he cared so much about the character of Han Solo, and nobody goes above a director to the producer's boss.
Right.
Nobody in Hollywood does that ever, because that pretty much guarantees you're never making another movie. And
With those guys.
with a lot of directors,
Oh, yeah.
they don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
But he said, "It's my career. I'm doing it." That's gutsy.
Yeah.
And to me, that says he cares about this character. He's done his study. He's done his pre-work. He's seen all 3 movies, what Han Solo is. Probably had a chat with Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with this. I think he's going to do a great job.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a fan of Donald Glover as Lando.
Oh, yeah.
I like Donald Glover, and I have no problem with him being Lando, and I think that he'll deliver. He's a quality enough actor. I mean, obviously his stuff in Community, but I mean he's just been winning awards for Atlanta.
Well, and his tiny
Comedy
role in The
work is great.
Martian.
His in The Martian.
The
Oh
movie.
yes.
He did this tiny
Yep.
10-minute thing in The Martian where he played this weird out of there astrodynamics guy who figured out the calculation to get the ship to do a boomerang effect back. He was incredible. Like, he stole 25 minutes of that movie, and only was in it for 10 minutes, and you were still thinking about that character and the way he played it.
Yeah, he definitely commanded the screen every time he was on.
Yeah.
So I'm great with him, and if what you're saying about the Han Solo guy is true, then I'm looking forward to it.
I am, and
But without Vader.
Vader. No, please no Vader.
If there's a
Please.
cameo in Boba Fett, or sorry, I just gave it away. If there's a cameo in Han Solo, it's Boba Fett.
Yeah.
That just makes sense. Like, Boba Fett and Han Solo, yeah, they're on equal playing field. They're going to do battle. He knows him. He's seen him. Boba Fett, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Vader, no, it's not happening.
If it does, I'm going to walk out of that movie, and there's no way that I'm going to give that movie a high rating because Lucasfilm didn't have faith in it.
Right.
You only put Vader in a movie that you're unsure of, and they were unsure of Rogue One, and they put him in.
It worked. I was
Oh,
happy
of
with the
course
scene.
it
It was a
worked.
fantastic scene. It worked, but let that be its thing.
Yeah.
Let that be its own thing. Don't just drop him in every movie just to have him.
The next time I see Vader on screen, I either want it to be the Obi-Wan movie or I want it to be a Vader movie.
A Vader movie would be good.
I do not need to see him again as a cameo.
No, I agree. I don't need to.
And that is pretty much all of our Star Wars stuff. Now, Jason, what?
You missed the Yoda movie.
Oh, yeah.
We got stuff to talk about here.
You wouldn't let me finish without talking about Yoda.
No.
So the rumor is they're in talks with 3 writers to bring back some scripts for Yoda movies.
Lawrence Kasdan better be one of them.
I'm sure he is. I don't have a clue where they will set a Yoda movie. Do they set it in the Old Republic? He is over 900 years old.
Yep.
Do they set it in the Old Republic? Do they set it with him on Dagobah? I don't think so, because we're already getting an Obi-Wan on Tatooine. We don't need the same thing.
Yeah, and what, him versus Swamp Lizard or no?
Do we get it right before Rogue One, which I don't care. I don't want to see that. I don't need to see that. Where's the Yoda movie fit into the world?
I could actually see going back and doing some potential Old Republic stuff.
Okay.
And that could open the door for bringing Old Republic
To the TV show.
To the TV show or to film even.
Well, I heard, and we've heard this a few times, they want the Old Republic as a television show. The first television show on the Disney network when they release their online streaming. They want to kick off their online streaming with an Old Republic Star Wars TV show there.
Okay, that could be potentially very cool.
Yeah.
As far as the Yoda movie goes, Yoda's my jam.
Oh.
He's my guy. I so want to see a Yoda movie, but it scares the hell out of me because, I mean...
You do it wrong, you ruin his legacy.
Yeah, you do it wrong, you ruin his legacy. One of the greatest things about Yoda, he has all these, wisdom tropes that he speaks, but there's so much mystery behind him. If we start to tear that mystery down, it's a tough call whether that could be awesome or ruin the character.
But a Yoda origin story where we see how he gained all that wisdom, I'm in for that. I'm in for he's a Padawan.
That could be great.
He's a Padawan, he's learning, or maybe he starts the Jedi Order. Maybe the rule of 2 makes the Jedi Order, have to change and he takes over and he's the young guy. I'm okay with all that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be there opening day on a Yoda movie, but it scares the hell out of me because if it goes wrong, it ruins his character.
Yeah.
And he's my favorite character, so don't ruin my favorite character.
All right, so that brings us to the end of the show. But before we go, Jason is leaving.
I'm leaving. I'm moving away.
He's moving away. He's moving probably, I would say it's a 15-hour drive from where we are now. We're in Canada. That's all we're going to tell you. But this probably will be Jason's last show for a long time. He might be back in Edmonton doing cameo appearances. We might be able to get him on the show one more time before he leaves.
We'll see if we can
but
squeeze
we don't
it
know.
in.
We don't know. Depends if there's some news. Maybe
we need to join the technological revolution
I
and see if
know.
we can Skype.
I will try to figure out, folks, so that I can get him out where he is, and maybe we can do something. If not, I know I can put my phone next to the microphone and a picture of him up on the screen. I know I can get that done.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because we're going to have to do something when The Last Jedi comes out.
Yes, we definitely need to talk about it for sure.
Yeah. But with that, Jason, I really need to thank you for all the podcasts, video casts we've done over the last couple of years.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
You are an amazing guest on the show. You've added so much more to this show. Without you, it's not the same. So
I appreciate that.
Totally going to miss you on the show.
Yeah, no, I've really enjoyed coming here, and I love talking Star Wars. So, being able to talk Star Wars and throw ideas at each other, and maybe we agree on things, maybe we don't agree on things. Porgs are good.
Yeah, so what do you think the best porg recipe is going to be? Do you like porg and beans?
There'll be no porg eating in The Last Jedi. They're cute and they're cuddly.
Come on, porg and beans. That's a good one.
That's good. Porg and beans. Porg and beans. Porg sirloin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go a lot of places with that. Okay. But no, I've really enjoyed being on the show. It's a great outlet to talk Star Wars. And I hope that we can figure that technology stuff out, and we'll continue.
We're smart
to
guys. If
We'll
other
figure it
people
out.
can do it, we can do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll figure it out.
So, folks, if you want to follow Jason, where can the good people find you?
Hit me up on Instagram at Vintage Star Wars. Like me, hate me, whatever. I'm there.
And you can find me on
Mark
Facebook.
Hamill approved.
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Movie Guy Sci-Fi. And just remember, everybody, nerds rule the world.